Well, hello and welcome to a slightly different episode or video on my channel. We're gonna, this is all now coming up because on our last episode from the hardcore world, we had a comment which I really just agree with, and it was purely just asking for more. And well, yeah, I don't blame you. I enjoy making, these videos, and I definitely spend a lot of time in this world, even just building stuff up off camera to be able to get the episodes out. And it's made me think, there's got to be a way that I can get a little bit more out there without, sacrificing some of the quality for an episode that I want to do. And well, with the new season of Hermitcraft being out and, watching all my favourite hermits, I've been watching a bit of Iskal85, and he's done a really good thing where he has his episodes, but then he has the behind the scenes, which is just interactions and things that you wouldn't normally put into an episode because, well, as he puts it, when you're making an episode, you've got an idea at the start and then you're trying to follow it out to be able to tell the story, to be able to get that video made. But sometimes there's things that just get missed from that, like, being on a multiplayer thing, they get interactions, that sort of stuff. Me here on a single player, you get me going through different ideas in my build processes. And well, for example, if we jump inside the School of Magic, which we got built up in our last episode, you can see that I've managed now to put in the actual A-frame around the build here, and I've got it all in secure, and I think it actually ties in nicely as a divider between these two sections. And I probably would forget just to put that in the next episode, or it might not fit with the idea that I'm running with for the next one. So the next episode is in the making. It's just, I want to be able to get something out for you guys because it takes a while to make some episodes. But, like things like that where you probably wouldn't see this being redone, or even, little things like I've been going around and actually just putting in items within these chests and, trying to make it look like there is actual life going on within these builds. And these are just small little things that I thought, I could actually start doing, like, because I might be just working on it for an hour or so I could just record myself doing that little stuff and just have it as a behind the scene where it doesn't necessarily need to follow the structure of a normal episode. We've also actually, while we're over here, I put in a doorway, like, room for this entrance stairwell, which I realized last time I did not do for there or over here, but I've managed now to actually just start to get this built up and into place. See, it's just an empty shell of an empty shell, but, these are things that I'm working on, and, you guys will probably come in next episode, because, like, when we left off last time, right, I hadn't done any of this stuff here. So we've now got, like, tables in it. I'm going through and using iron, what are they called? Iron trap doors for the, shells. Man, I always struggle with word shells. I don't know why. If you go back and look at some of my most mistaked words, well, I'm gonna eat this. Most mistaked words. If you can't tell, I'm not very good speaking English. But so you see now I've gone around and I'm using the iron trap doors because in here is going to be our kitchen hall, and we've spoken about this, so that's obviously why we've got the dining table. And the look of the iron trapdoors just gives it a bit more of a cleaner, sort of pristine look. And I was just mucking around with this in the creative test world, so that's why I came up with this idea. And then also, putting around the cakes, different food, different decorative stuff. I think that's all going to look just nice being plotted out, but there's a lot of just random placing around to, going around working out, okay, I want some randomness in my shells, but they also need to make sense because I've got to be able to put a block on it so that we can store food. We could put a lectern. We could put sea pickles. I don't know if you guys saw over there in the School of Magic, we had a lot of sea pickles sitting around because they do look like candles, and we did used to use them before candles were around, but I'm going to be playing around with candles, so I'm thinking more of them as actually being like a type of food. And that gets really interesting, like when you look at Minecraft and you think, okay, what can you make to look like something that it isn't? But I mean, it could be if you look at it from a distance. Like a great one is Netherrack. If you put a whole heap of that and have it a bit of a distance over a bit of a campfire, that looks like, a bit of meat on a spit being cooked. So I like those sort of ideas, and I think these sort of chats are things that we can be having with these behind the scenes. And well, this is the first one that I'm doing, so I'm not 100% how it's going to go. I can also hear my dog barking, so let me go and get him. Ned! Alright, where were we? We can, go in and explore different options for, working out what can we use to represent something. So, like, this whole area, as I said, it's going to be a dining hall. And, I'm going to be making some bobble elevators down here to be able to go down to the kitchen. We're going to have farms and that sort of stuff, and big ovens and... yeah, words. But, just thinking about, there's all these different sort of, big, like, industrial kitchen sizes, because it's a whole castle area that's going to be built up over here. So, it's a lot of people we've got to be feeding. So I want to be able to represent that in the build. And I thought, maybe in behind the scenes stuff, we could be able to maybe laugh at my prototypes when that becomes the point. I think that might be a good sort of thing to show off in those sort of sections. Where did I put the cake? There. Okay. I was going to say, I had more cake. Putting out cake first because I was able to buy that from my villagers back at the Cherrywood Isle, so I thought I may as well, make use of being able to have these on a quite large scale, and just fill out the whole place, because I don't know, I'm getting that sort of that Harry Potter vibe when it's like the holiday scene and there's all the cupcakes, all the lollies, all the sweets. Yes, speaking of Harry Potter, we will have floating candles up here. We've got string and honey on the way, so that's not an issue. It's just a matter of actually getting up here and putting them in. But so I've got that as an idea, and I mean, if you guys can think of any other sort of ways of maybe even making up some cupcakes, or actually, yeah, if we could get like little cupcakes in the game, that'd fit up nicely in here, especially if we could have them as like a floating block like we can with the candles. Maybe working with the candles might be our answer to get those little cupcakes. Okay, so that might be something we do in another behind the scenes thing. This one is mainly just, introducing the concept that I want to do it and get something out. So, as you guys, I turned around and completely I wanted to actually show you guys the main big thing for this behind the scenes one, and that is I want to add in a second floor. Now I can see it's getting dark, but that's not too bad. Like over here we saw it and this was going to be a lounge space, but I want to put a stairway going up here and continuing on our build so that you can see this one here. As I said, that's our School of Magic, and I believe that's to me that's finished. Like the interior work, I've done that. I'm happy with it. It now just needs its outer shell and to actually meet up with the ground and have all that stuff put into place. And if you're new here and trying to work out why it looks like a bit of a higgledy-piggledy caterpillar, does it look like the Very Hungry Caterpillar? Maybe. Anyway, it's because I went through and I wanted to build the interior of the building and then start building on the exterior. And we start off with that with our witch farm, which is down there, and we built up a massive big sort of maze. Yeah, that's our dungeon, but it looks like a bit of a maze. And as you can see, most of the ground will be over that. There might be a building that sort of covers it or not, but we're just building all the interior stuff first, so you can see some of that networking, and then going to build the actual shell of the house over it. And I think that I might make a mention of it in the next episode, but attacking that and building it up might be something we do on a live stream or even a behind the scenes thing, because I've got the idea, but I don't know how well it's going to work in the structure of the next episode that I want to work on. And the same with doing up here with this second story. Now, I want your guys' opinion on it before I can start, and because I don't think we're going to get to it for the next one, that's what we're going to be, the question for this behind the scenes is, how far out do you reckon this second floor should expand? Should we overlay and go back over the top of this food hall, or should we spread out a little bit? And I'm thinking sort of in between where that tower there is, or the room there is, and that sort of the spruce trees. I'm thinking if we bring it out and having a bit of a floor over here, that way, because we're going to have our external wall of the castle, and it's got to make its way all along the shore because of how our dungeon and nether portal fit. So I reckon if we use up a bit more of this space and actually have a build, because I'm going to build up the... we're talking about building up like a big, almost like a churchy sort of thing for magic, where you could show off where your magical skills, where like you know, the whole trying to make up the lore on my spot, but you know, that's just where it sort of would be the central part of this keep, and then almost flipping these buildings over on the reverse of that side. And that's what I was thinking to have for our big sort of rectangular spacing. So let me know what you think. Should we have this go up and wrap back over on top of itself, or should we go over here and build up? Alternatively, we could also just go, nah, let's continue on the ground and then just build its own building over here. And I mean, I also haven't even touched on watchtowers, because, you know, old castles and that, you've got to have a watchtower and archer's slit where they can shoot through any invasions. But yeah, so these are some of the thoughts that I've been having in between this episode and the newest one to come out. So I'm hoping that it's not going to be the most interesting sort of stuff, but it's going to be real, and it's going to really just sort of keep you guys up to date with what's going on in the world, how things are happening and progressing, but as well as give you guys a bit more of a chance to, you know, have a bit of a say in something. As I said, it's not going to be able to, it's there. One day I'll get good with words, trust me, but it's not today. That's evident. But you know, you guys will be able to sort of see my thought processes and everything, because I am seeing very much so that an episode is a structured thing where we've got the concept and we're trying to follow it through. And sometimes you guys miss out a little bit on, you know, my thought process, because either we get, you know, it stretches out and it goes for too long, or otherwise, you know, there's things that's like when I did the raid farm, for example, that was like almost a whole hour of waiting around trying to get a raid captain to spawn, realizing my problems with the tower over there and all that sort of stuff, and that just got snipped down to like a minute or so, or 30 seconds. And then the actual encounter was all sped up at like 2 speed, so you'd hear the squeaky mountain and that sort of thing. And you know, those sort of stuff really are things that I think probably could be a behind the scene snippet, like a little bit of a look into how things are going. So that way it's not really cut from an episode, and you guys don't feel like you're missing out on getting to experience that whole sort of just joys. But so I'm not too sure how long this little behind the scenes snippet or this little talk's going to be going for, but I thought it'd be good just to start it so you guys know that I'm going to start doing these now. So it might always get that hello and welcome to sort of intro. It might just be cutting into me going, I really hate diorite and this is why, you know, and then I'm showing you what's going on. So this will be the first in you know, the behind the scenes, just sit down, chat, talk with you guys. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. If you've got any ideas or any thoughts, you know, please put them in the comments section, or jump over and join us on our Discord. We've got a whole section over there just to talk about the lore for the realm that we're going through. Yes, I know I've got to update and actually put some more stuff in there, but you know, we can all have a bit of a discussion there if you're interested. But thank you for listening to me ramble. The workings for the next hardcore episode are in the makings. Who knows, we might even get another one of these behind the scenes before that happens. But either way, thanks for just tuning in and having a listen, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.